morning and welcome to Wet Tropic Times Online, where your one-stop shop for all your local news, events and community reminders. This week I'll be doing a special sneak peek into the sports column this week. But before we chat, let's get into that. Let's take a look at this week's local news. Authorities recently captured and removed a 5-metre iconic crocodile near Babinda with mixed emotions from the locals. Authorities are taking this opportunity to remind locals and tourists that Babinda, especially east of the highway, is crocodile country, and with the hotter weather approaching, swimmers and fishers need to continue to be cautious of crocodiles. The warning signs are there for your safety, so please respect the wildlife and keep yourselves safe. If you see any crocs, please report all sightings by calling 1300 130 372. At around 8 a.m. last Thursday, local youngsters Ben Walker and Ashton Stepanoff paddled out with an inflatable stand-up paddleboard and 2-metre kayak just off Eddy Bay Beach shoreline. They hoped to catch some fingermark at Turtle Rock using paddle-tail lures on a 30-pound line, and were shocked to end up with a huge tuna instead. Both mates were pulled a fair way out to sea as the huge fish put up a massive fight. Ben did an impressive job of kneeling on his paddleboard to bring the fish in, all while Ashton could only offer moral support as Ben brought the fish in. Eventually, both boys worked as a team and managed to load the 103-centimetre bluefin tuna into Ashton's kayak, which nearly sank due to its size and weight, estimated at 12 to 13 kgs. Nice work, boys, and a very impressive catch. Shops in inner-style areas are being encouraged to paint the town pink to promote breast cancer awareness for the month of October. Inner-style Breast Cancer Support Group is working with Combank Inner-style branch to host their 5th annual scent sale to raise funds for the event. The support group are encouraging all businesses and locals to go pink for at least one day on Friday, October 23rd. Chuck on some pink clothing or dress up your shop front and windows in support of breast cancer awareness. It's a great cause and we would love all to see our local community rally around this event. Pick up this week's Wet Tropic Times for all the details and info about the scent sale tickets. Member for Hill Shane Muriata is calling on the state government to help secure seasonal workers for far north Queensland so that fresh produce isn't left rotting on the ground. Mr. Muriata said that it was good the state government was supporting the Wide Bay and Bundaberg region by providing funding recovery packages for seasonal workers, but more needs to be done for the far north. He is calling on the government to provide the same package that was awarded to the Wide Bay be extended to far north Queensland. We will keep you updated on any developments from the state government. The rain might have stayed away, but heck, conditions heated up with a field of 41 juniors recently competing in the Innisfail Junior Open. All juniors should be congratulated on a fantastic day, as there were plenty of red numbers on the board, especially in the 9 novice and 9 modified division. The golfers and spectators would like to send out a special thanks to the endless volunteers from the 3G network who keep the course looking fabulous. Shout out to all the parents who helped out on the day, as well as the event sponsors, Top End Apps, Ernie's Cupcakes and Treats, Empire Cafe and Catering. A great event, and it's great to see our local junior golfers doing so well. Innisfail Vikings Rugby Union recently held a junior sign-on and come and try day at Gundley Sporting Complex, with some new and familiar faces keen to play in the upcoming season. They're on the lookout for players to field teams in the boys under 10s, 12s and 14s, and are looking for girls to take part in Rugby 7, as well as in under 13s, 15s and Opens age groups. For more information, head over to the Innisfail Vikings Junior Rugby Union Facebook page. The 37th Annual Innisfail and District Ballet and Dance Society competition wrapped up in great style with the awards presentation last Friday evening, presenting several local dancers from the region with a swag of trophies. Judge Nikki Manigo from Brisbane said she was impressed with the high level of talented dancers in far north Queensland, especially in the tap section, and loves seeing so many stunning costumes. Great work, girls. Skies recently came alive with a coloured collection of parachutes as Far North Queensland Freefall hosted the 2020 Queensland State Skydiving Championships in Tully. The top skydiving teams from around the state made it to Tully for the event, including locals from Ingham to Babinda. Participants competed over 4 skydiving disciplines, including a 4-way formation, skydiving, 2-way vertical formation, skydiving, speed skydiving, and sports accuracy. Head over to www.nqpc.asn.au for more information on the event and skydiving in North Queensland. The victorious 1989 and 1990 Innisfail Eacham Foley Shield teams are celebrating 31 and 30 years respectively since their wins with a reunion scheduled in Innisfail on October 16th and 17th. Event organiser David Jones, who was named Man of the Match in the winning 1990 team, said the achievements and team camaraderie were worth celebrating and is calling on all players, coaches, officials, selectors, medical officers, strappers, supporters and their partners to come along. Check out our Facebook post yesterday for all the details. In this week's sports column in the Wet Tropic Times, I will be speaking pretty much about the NRL finals, with the 2020 season culminating with just 8 teams left for the top 8. So there's a few teams going to be in there with a shot at the title, and everyone's mind was cast upon the Sydney City Roosters to give it a shot, but after last week's shellacking at the hands of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, I think there's going to be a couple of new contenders. Also, we got in the bag, probably you're looking at the Melbourne Storms. They're always there. Cameron Smith's men will always feature in those games at the end. But I wouldn't write off the Green Machine, the Canberra Raiders. There's also a couple of bolters. Ricky Stewart's men will make sure they're ready for the finals, I'd say. Then also you've got the other guys in there, the Parramatta Eels, which I think they will be thereabouts, but I don't think they can make it right to those last games. And of course you've got the other teams that are making up the numbers. That's probably not a good thing to say, but that's what they're there for, the Newcastle Knights and most likely the South Sydney Rabbitohs. So it's anyone's game at this moment, I'd say. As the weeks go on, I'd say I'm leaning more towards the Melbourne Storms to take out the title. In other rugby league news here in Tully, we have the last game of the rugby league season on our calendar for 2020 here at the beautiful Tully Showground between the North Queensland Italian versus the North Queensland Samoan. This game is a regular fixture here at the Tully Showground and it always attracts a massive crowd. I think in the last 2 years alone we've attracted over 1,500 supporters on each occasion. And now with the new grandstand here, I think this will be a much bigger crowd to finish the rugby league season off. I also want to give a special shout out to the guest tippers for the season of 2020. A-grade head coach Mitch Seary in Ingham for the Herbert River Crushers. Thank you mate for coming and giving us a hand. Cameron Miller for the Spiller Sports Show. Also Chris up at Babinda, Northern Pride Local, and Junior up there. Good work mate. And also to Paul Ketchell as well. He's come in and given me a hand, who's been the A-grade coach of the Tully side. And also probably to all the other guest tippers throughout the year. I've been much grateful for you guys to come in and give me a hand to make the newspaper a very alive sort of newspaper and make sure the rugby league gospel is preached throughout this beautiful region that is North Queensland. And last but not least, make sure you grab a copy of the Wet Tropic Times, and then there's some great feature stories in there this week. And if you get a bit of time, you make sure you get into that rugby league stuff, and yeah, we'll keep it going. And then our last tipping will be the grand final. So whoever makes it in we'll get another guest celebrity tipper in and we'll go from there. We hope you've all enjoyed this week's overview of local news. Grab a copy of Wet Tropic Times today for the full stories, plus much more. Thanks everyone for watching. We hope you all have a great weekend.